All right, so here we're looking at the back of this 5.7 liter Vortec V8 350 small block by Chevy GMC. This is the GMC truck, and we're replacing the transmission on it. Got the exhaust off on both sides. Is a V8. Transmission cooler lines out of the way. Got some harness wires out of the way. Made sure our dowel pins are good. This is a ground wire that goes on the back of the engine. It's pretty important ground. I wouldn't neglect it if this is you. That ground was cleaned up, removed, put back. There was oil everywhere on the back of this motor. All that was cleaned up, as you can see, all the way over there. Most guys will take this transmission off, not even bother replacing the rear main seal, which was replaced, and they won't clean up around the top of the trim for the bell housing here. They won't inspect your seals for that back of the engine block. I mean, they just won't inspect nothing. They'll just plop it off, plop it on, done. They will not remove the flex plate, which I'm about to reinstall. And they definitely will not replace your rear main seal, which that has been replaced and it's a brand new one. Brake cleaner is a hot commodity because, like Grandpa said, you know, if you're going to work on it, make it look like you worked on it, right? That's what Granddad would always say. And this is what it should look like you worked on it, like you cared. So everything on the back of the motor is clean. Everything around the top portion of the back of the motor is good, inspected, and cleaned. I tried to scrape the back of that cylinder head the best I could. I got most of the easy loose goose stuff off, but there's some kind of black stuff on there that's not coming off. Like I said, the back of the intake all the way up as far as I could was all cleaned up, and the ground wire was followed all the way back to the chassis, removed, cleaned, and replaced. The heat insulator here was covered in oil and gunk, and that was cleaned. I'm waiting on the customer to bring me an oil pan gasket. In the meantime, I cleaned the exterior at least. I'm going to move forward and install this flex plate, flywheel, whatever you want to call it. And then next, we got the transmission ready to go here. It's been painted blue. It's strapped on the transmission jack there. And we will be mating it up. I know there's no torque converter on that transmission. Relax. I have it over there, and I'm cleaning it, and I'm going to be attaching it before I bolt it up. But I just wanted to make a quick little video to show, kind of cover my butt and document the fact that rear main seal, brand new, replaced, back of the motor cleaned up. None of this was half-assed. Every gasket, every bolt, everything cleaned up. Another thing a lot of guys won't do that they'll overlook is they will take this out and they will not inspect the bolt holes. And the appropriate thing to do is to inspect all your threaded bolt holes. Inspect the thread. Yes, I said inspect. I mean, get in there with a flashlight, look at the threads inside each bolt to the best of your ability and make sure it's good. Then I take compressed air from a blower hooked up to a compressor, and I blow every single hole out to get any debris, any dust, any shavings of any kind out of those holes. Then you take the bolts themselves and clean them with a brush. And then last but not least, you install your thread lock. I use the high strength thread by Permatex. And then you put your thread lock on your bolts, and you tighten in the proper sequence, crisscross, and then torque. And your flex plate is on. At that point, I always put a very thin coat of lube on the dowel pins just to help the transmission mate in there a little better. Like I said, I blew out the threads on the holes. I cleaned the bolts with brush. I made sure all that was free of contaminants and any kind of dust or debris or shavings of any kind that might be in those holes that could compromise the thread biting down and getting a good bite. Yeah, so I'm not going to bore y'all too much yapping. We'll make this a short video, but 1992, I want to say, GMC. I'll hop out of here real quick and show it to you before I end the video. Oh. Fresh painted grille, fresh headlights, 1992 GMC Sierra. Same thing as a Silverado. Bed's a little beat up, but it'll live. It's got some trim pieces and dings and dents, but it's a work truck. Old transmission. Went ahead and repainted that rear diff cover. Black glossiness, looking good. Rotated the tires, yada yada yada. So yeah, this is it. GMC Sierra 1500, getting ready to put some work in on the transmission side and keep her on the road a few more years, because that motor is super duper clean and healthy. It's a clean little motor, runs good and strong, idles quiet. So with this transmission, it will definitely be a good little truck for its owners for a while to come, and that's exactly what we want. So I'm gonna go put that flex plate on it. Thanks for watching. New rear main seal installed, transmission getting ready to go up.